Welcome back with another banger. It's the React Pals. Hope you're having a good night. Let's get straight to it.
Can someone explain to me why in Manchester we've had nothing but fog for 4 days now? 4 days in a row. Normally, just behind these buildings, I can see for miles out of my window, but I haven't been able to see past these buildings here, barely seeing this main road since the 23rd of December. It's now the 27th. And I know what fog is, and I've seen fog before, but I don't think ever in my life I have seen fog like this, like a blanket covering for 4 days in a row. And it's not even like it's disappeared and then come back. It's literally just been like this constantly since the 23rd of December. Is it just me, or is that not normal? I mean, if it wasn't for the lights there and the headlights, I probably wouldn't be able to see that road at all. Earlier on today, genuinely couldn't see a thing. I literally feel like I live in a Stephen King film. But yeah, it's pretty weird. Has anyone else ever seen this before? Has anyone else ever seen 4 days, even longer, of fog continuously? Get it in the comments. But yeah, I've never seen this before. What is going on?
So does anybody else just feel like they should be walking around wearing a fucking gas mask? Like, what is happening in the UK at the minute with the weather? Because all this fog has been here for about 5 days now, and it is literally not budging. And I have never seen a fog like this, what stayed for longer than 5 days, will not dissipate whatsoever. And I've woke up today with a sore throat. It's obviously the shit that we're breathing in, because I don't feel like this is a normal fog. This is some type of chemical fog. And we all know that they fucking hate us and they want us ill and poorly. And what better way to do it than affecting our air pollution with this shit that they're fucking spraying. I don't even know what it is. But yeah, this fog is not normal. And I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but if you've got a white car, the fucking car doesn't stay white for any longer than a day. Right, look at all this. I went and got this car cleaned 5 days ago. Look at that. That's not normal. I've never known my car to be so dirty after washing it 5 days after.
Shout outs to Robert Galley from Manchester. Shout outs to Jamie League. He said 4 days. I take it she took this video the day after and made it 5. It doesn't look normal at all. I just can't put my finger on what it is.
This right here is not rain and it's not sleet, and I'm about to prove it to you in a second. I don't know about y'all, but I'm sick of this. So this is their Ring doorbell or whatever, and at the same time there is quite literally no precipitation coming from the sky. It's just water molecules. Somewhat same exact place, except it was taken on a camera and not the Ring doorbell. I'm about to show you stills as well, but guess what? This is happening everywhere. And I mean everywhere. Here's the still picture. And all the way across the world, this is in South Carolina, and it's looked like this for months outside. And when I say months, I mean every single day. It's this right here. So much to the point where I'm literally taking vitamin D every day. Now, I have no idea what this is, but do you notice the similarities? The fog, why is it completely outrageous? And again, right here, with crazy spiritual phenomenon happening in the sky, why is it always present with fog? Right there's the video. We have seen the sun here once a week, if that. And I've been talking about that quite a bit. I mean, look at right here. Yeah, once in a while, I get that. But every single day for months straight in the UK, they're grounding flights and doing all sorts of caution over this fog. So it's not just, where we are, but where they are as well. By the way, in the video I showed you, I see a skull in the fog. Surely me and them can't be the only people, right? Let me know what it looks like outside where y'all are. If you're watching this on Facebook, put a picture in the comments. I miss the sun, and I mean the OG sun.
Shout outs to the real moon Henry. What was floating in the sky looked like orbs. You know what's crazy? I've been playing The Last of Us, and it has those kind of like pores in the air in the game. Something similar.
To begin with, I just want to explain the theory in the most layman's terms possible, just to make it as easy for you as I can. That way you can kind of get a baseline for how the video is going to go, and I kind of just want to set the video on a correct course. If you do want to skip ahead to the creature and the land explanations and the history and stuff, again, check the timestamps. This beginning part will be the prehistory and the basic overview. In this theory, the actual shape of the world is not a sphere like we've been told. It's not a flat Earth or anything, actually. That's not involved in the theory. But instead, it's more of a snowman shape, with planets stacked on top of each other, connected like a snowman. Earth and all the stuff that we know about it, its 7 continents, all that stuff, it sits on the top of the snowman, where a head of an actual snowman would be. And to the south, or the bottom of our planet Earth, below Antarctica, is the next planet, the body of the snowman. This planet is called Atlas. Atlas is a much larger spherical planet as well, about twice the size of Earth. But below Atlas, on its southern tip, beyond its border, is the biggest planetoid body in this grouping, known as Akupara. So Earth, Atlas, Akupara, this makes the giant planetoid body, and all the mysterious lands and creatures that I'll be discussing exist beyond Earth and in Atlas or Akupara. So this planetoid body is the 3 planets tall, and if you were to look at it from a top-down perspective, you would see the various rings or ice circles that exist to separate the different planets. Like in the main map, you can see how the middle concentric circle is Earth, the one on the outside is Atlas, and the one on the outside is Akupara, and beyond that is a land of mysterious, very weird effects known only as the Wastes. Which again, they also have their own lore. Don't worry about it. Lore, there's lore everywhere, okay? But this collection of planets, this body, this snowman, is known as Gaia, or Gaia. Now, Earth and Atlas are orbited by their own unique suns. They have their own rotations and everything like that. But the bottom planet, Akupara, is so large, so expansive, that it actually has 2 suns that rotate around it. That's how much light it needs. And an important thing to note that in this lore system, the only planetary body that has a moon is Earth. There's no more moons of note. We're unique with that, which is pretty cool, I guess.
Shout out to Melody Lawson, 1982, for posting this. I don't know who this guy is. If you do, make sure you go to his video and hit that like button. Very interesting. I have heard of the word Gaia as like when people say Mother Gaia. It's very interesting, the whole snowman. Same with the tourist fields, you know, you gotta look at it from a 3-dimensional approach. And it's very interesting that in this lore, Earth is the only one with the moon. Very interesting.
I can't show you how much of this behind me, but why in the world has 3 planes gone down in the last 24 hours? That gives me really strong Donnie Darko vibes. The latest one was in Canada. You remember a few months ago when I talked about not getting on planes? You know, I'm sure it seemed pretty random at the time, but what about now? Like this right here is absolutely crazy. And at the same time, we're having a huge plane problem for planes that did not go down. And some that did, but you know, they have a lot in common if you're good at using your eyes. Because just recently, Boeing was in the headlines for a while. And this right here is completely not related at all. I just thought it was crazy how we have dual sheets of clouds and they both look ridiculous. We even have an article from Fox Weather saying Florida becomes the unsunshine state and during its cloudiest winter period in 84 years. And that was last year. And this year, the fog and everything else is absolutely insane. This right here has been our viewing conditions in South Carolina for the last 4 days, ever since Christmas. And then randomly in the middle of the night, I should have recorded it, we had an ungodly storm. And when I tell you guys, I've never seen a storm that bad here. The whole entire house was shaking. There was like some crazy strong vibration with this storm. And we haven't seen nothing yet. This massive polar vortex is coming. I wouldn't be surprised if the entire sky froze, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean, and I pray it don't happen. Shout outs to the real Moon Henry. Yo, a lot of planes been going down. It's like, yo, what's going on? And that was a crazy shot right there from the airplane with those clouds on top of the sky. Yo, warning, the following video contains images that some viewers may find very upsetting. I certainly did.
These are the chilling final moments of an inmate who was killed at the hands of prison guards. Horrific body cam footage shows Robert Brooks being brutally punched and kicked as he lay shackled and defenseless at the Marcy Correctional Facility in Oneida County on December 10th. Officers can be seen repeatedly going for Brooks in the face and groin as he sits handcuffed on a medical examination table. At one point, one officer shoves his boot into Brooks's stomach, forcing him backwards, while another yanks him up by his neck and drops him back on the table. As he becomes limp and unresponsive, another officer enters and shackles his ankles with a chain. They then haul him into a corner and are seen struggling to keep him upright as his body bends backwards. Equally disturbing is the number of officers who witnessed the attack and did nothing to intervene. Brooks was declared dead at a hospital the following morning. Preliminary findings from a medical examination indicate concern for asphyxia due to compression of the neck as the cause of death, as well as the death being due to actions of another, according to court filings. 13 correction officers and a nurse implicated in the attack will face termination, according to New York Governor Kathy Hochul, who said she was outraged and horrified by videos of the senseless killing. Governor Hochul has ordered a full and immediate investigation into Brooks' death.
I think this is a great opportunity for the governor to really investigate and proceed with legal action for them 13 people, correction officers who went to work that day, clocked in, and took this man's life. Rest in peace, Robert Brooks. In my opinion, they shouldn't have been allowed to leave. Well, y'all in the prison already. Y'all can just stay right here. Yeah, that's it. That was truly horrifying, upsetting. So there's no way.
History repeats, and this is no secret whatsoever. And if it repeats, there is a pattern. And that pattern is the story or the narrative that is repeating in history over and over. And right here it is. You can see that it's just binary code. This is the pattern of one single year. We've got spring, summer, fall, and winter. And we can see year after year that pattern, spring, summer, fall, and winter, repeats over and over and over again. Hey, that's waveform. And so on the most basic elementary level, you can see that what I have said so far is absolutely, unarguably true. There's no debate here that history repeats a solid pattern of spring, summer, fall, and winter year after year after year in waveform, right? On the most fundamental level, this is the truth of our reality. You see? I'm sorry if I seem a little spicy, but how anyone could deny this very basic fact right here escapes me. We all agree that history repeats the seasons, right? Even at the equator where they only get 2 seasons, we still recognize that that's binary code as well. So let's break this down further. Spring, summer, fall, and winter. That's a pattern. Birth, growth, entropy, death. That's the pattern of a human life. Yes, it exactly matches this pattern right here. It's the same one. So we have 1 year. We have an entire lifetime. And what about wake, work, wind down, sleep? Well, that's every day. Every single day of your life displays the pattern of spring, summer, fall, and winter. When you wake up, go to work, come home from work, and go to bed. Only to wake up and do it all again day after day after day. Every day, figuratively, symbolically, displays the same exact pattern of the year or the human life. There is one pattern that repeats in all things, not just history. And when I say history repeats, I mean, like, on the most fundamental level, it does every single day. You've got this pattern where you wake up and you gotta get yourself going for the day, right? Spring, birth, and then you get yourself going and you go and you reach your peak for the day. Whatever it is, whatever you're doing for the day, your day peaks for energy and productivity and all that. Summer, growth. And then you come home from whatever you're doing. This is the evening time, right? You're going to wind down, you're going to eat some dinner, you're going to kick your feet up, you're going to watch some TV and relax a bit, right? Your day's done. Maybe you're going to tidy up a bit, get all your final things done for the evening. And that's autumn, or entropy, or getting old. And inevitably, you're going to carry yourself to bed because you're too tired to keep functioning. You got to sleep so you can wake up and do it again. So you go to sleep, which is winter or death. And sure, I've scratched this out real rudimentary on my whiteboard here. I used my iPad. But we can all see that binary code is the pattern that repeats every day, every year, every human lifetime. You start at the bottom, you peak, and then you end at the bottom again. If we agree, we can move forward. If not, scroll on. So here is our familiar pattern that repeats. This is the narrative or the story that repeats in history every day, every year, every 80 years. But this is also the same pattern as an entire age on the earth. And the first age was from Adam till Noah. The flood ended the first age on the earth. Quick note to say that the way that I have divided these things is not the whole point. It's just one way to understand how to divide these things. This is how I currently understand it. That is subject to change. I have certainly not included everything there is to include here. This is just the basics to get the point. Like perhaps you could say that the first age of the earth was the Garden of Eden, and they fell. And perhaps this is the second age of the earth. None of that's the point. The point is that the pattern is clearly displayed in these things for certain. From Adam till Noah was certainly an age upon the earth, where civilization peaked and then ended in the flood. And then it all started over again with Noah's 3 sons. The second age, from Noah to the Exodus, the rise of empires on the earth after the flood. It's the same exact pattern. It's a little bit smaller because it was far more localized than the worldwide event that preceded it. So from at least the fall from the Garden of Eden till the flood is an age. From the flood until the Exodus is an age. The same story repeating on a much smaller scale. The third age is just the same story repeated again, but it's getting a little bigger as we go. It was all the way big, it got thrown all the way down, but now it's growing up once more. The third age was from the Exodus to Christ. The rise of Israel and Judah. The tribe of Dan carries a new religion, including the Torah, and spreads it all over the world, preparing the stage for the fourth age. At the end of the third age, Christ was born. At the end of the fourth age, Christ will return. The third age ended when Christianity was born into the world, when the last apostles had died, when the Revelation had been written. They even had their own personal little Armageddon, just like they did and just like they did. This one is recorded in the Valley of Megiddo, 1450 BC. The Egyptians fought a battle of Armageddon to end the age. The Romans came in and threw Jerusalem down at the end of the third age, their own little Armageddon. That same story, just repeating through the ages. Oh, days, years, lifetimes, ages. Every age has the same pattern of spring, summer, fall, and winter. Birth, growth, entropy, death. Hey, that's the same as nations themselves, let alone empires themselves. Huh. Well, just like the second age set the stage for the third age set the world stage for the fourth age. From Christendom to present, the time of the Gentiles, this pattern is just as big as that one, as the days of Noah were. The world, after the flood, has grown all the way back up now. And I'm talking about mankind and civilization upon the face of it, to be certain. The world and its systems, not the earth. So it's kind of like this: spring, summer, fall, and now we are in winter. This is the whole history of the earth. This is the first age, the second age, the third age, and the fourth age. What's going to happen next? The millennial reign of Christ. The whole story is going to run all over again in a much shorter time frame. Because as history repeats this story day after day, year after year, millennia after millennia, it's repeating this narrative, perfecting it as it goes, correcting all the errors as it goes. It keeps running that story over again because it is perfecting it. And what I mean is, like, reality is a machine that is processing the data by running it over and over and over again until it is perfect. It runs this story over and over again. The story of the world is being perfected by running it over and over again in the hands of a master who is perfecting it. And this is similar to building a house. The entropy or loss or atom in that equation is all the parts and pieces of the wood and materials that get cut off and are too small to use for anything else, and so go into the dumpster. You see, all the parts and pieces don't come cut to size. You have to cut them to size according to the plans while you're constructing the house. And when it's done, you have a finished product, a new house, and a dumpster full of scraps. And this is just reality on every single level. You see, the builder perfects the materials according to his plan as he goes. And such is our reality. Like a goldsmith who is God, refining gold, the world, in the fire. There's gonna be impurities get burned off. Well, why were there impurities? Well, that was left over from the process of making the gold to begin with. There's loss in every system, fellas. It's the law of distribution or whatever. We all know no pain, no gain, right? Gotta spend money to make money, right? That's nested toroids. If you were hoping I'd say that word. There it is. That's history repeating that single pattern from hour to day to year to lifetime to age to the whole story of the earth from start to finish. It's just that one pattern played out over the large scale. Now this pattern repeats in all things. It is the pattern of everything. Russian nesting dolls. This isn't just your hour, your day, your year, your lifetime, whatever. This is the universe. Once again, I only have the poignant levels labeled here. But in the center of the earth is hell, surrounded by the earth, surrounded by the sky, surrounded by the second heaven, surrounded by the third heaven. It's nested toroids. This pattern right here is the same exact picture as this right here. That's what a toroid does. It's toroidal wave function. It spins like atoms do. That's just the toroidal wave function of a hydrogen atom. There's the toroidal wave function of our solar system. This is a more literal depiction of our solar system than this is. The toroidal wave function is just binary code. The exact same thing as this right here. It is the reason things are born, grow, get old, and die. And according to the instructions of the one who created it, ye must be born again. And absolutely everything in reality agrees with Jesus.
I was absolutely waiting for that one. It's a toroid. Shout out to Dead Hidden. The rise and fall of empires. It's really similar to the movie The Matrix. Gotta run a simulation multiple times to perfect it. And it's born again. It's great stuff. Very simplistic, yet complicated at the same time.
The East Coast may be getting an insane blizzard, let me show you why. Maybe even Florida. I've been following this for a few days, so the first few days, all the weather people are getting super mad, like, that'll never happen. But every single day that goes by, more and more weather models are agreeing. On the East Coast, literally showing average temperatures at minus 30 or 40. Which would make it lower than the 10s. This guy's opinion, except for South Florida and California, Arizona, everywhere else in the lower 48 has at least a non-zero chance of snowfall by January 11th. 25% chance in the Panhandle. May Musk, how did you get here? But I want to show you guys something else. I'm gonna zoom this right here in. What is this centralized area that we're seeing? At minus 50 degrees, the actual temperature. I do remember a pretty chaotic storm coming right through here and hitting right here. Make sure y'all are still praying for the Helene victims. From the GFS to the 18Z Euro, says it's going down. And NOAA says the same. You know, NOAA was right about the flood. By the way, did I tell you it was calling for single digit temperatures for days? You remember what happened in Texas when they had that crazy freeze? And don't forget all the ridiculous storms we've had over the last week. And again, the saying is if there's a thunderstorm in the winter, it means snow is coming. Let me know what you think.
And that's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed tonight's rabbit hole. If you haven't already, please take a second
just to smash that like, subscribe, ring that notification bell.
just to make sure the algorithm knows what's up. So what we gonna do, y'all? That's right. Run these numbers up. Thanks again. Till next time.